All right, here we go. Here we go. Late night happy hour. It's a Tuesday. We got a different crew tonight. We'll see who shows up. Will it be Allie? Will it be Alex Crawford? Or will I have a special guest? I could just sit here alone tonight. We'll see who shows up. What's up, Brady? What's up, Brady? Great interview with DRF today. All right. I think some people on the station had some issues with some of the stuff that DRF what she had to say. So we'll have to pull some of that interview back tomorrow and review it with one Adam Candy. Yes, the special guest is Brady and his comments in the chat room. Send the invite if you need a co-host. Doug is still very worked up. We'll get to that later on. UNLV got a coach off the discount rack. D. Walker, what up? Look at Alex just comes barging into the room. Just come in whenever you want. I like it.
What's up? Schofield?
Scott's here. Say hi to Scott.
What's up, Scott?
John Carvelli announcing that he's here as well. Alex is here. Allie, we've got some bad news, so we'll have to deliver that in a little bit. We're going to get to the Beavers, no doubt. But do we start out with this fine piece of broadcasting from somewhere in Southern California? It looks lovely. My God, that's a nice field. And look at the sky. God, I wish I lived near the beach. Oh, it looks nice there. Oh God. Doug, there's no reason to rub salt in the wound. There's no reason to do that. Just because we've got one Sweet 16 participant on the show tonight, and the other guy, me, should have been there facing Syracuse, those sons of bitches. But yes, I'm still hurt that Rutgers. Well, thanks, Doug. I appreciate it. Doug was actually one of the guys I think who reached out. He knew it stung on Sunday. But first, we get some. What is this, Alex? This is soccer. This is lacrosse. The camera angle. The athletes are kind of small. What is this?
This is girls soccer. Can you hear me okay? Does my mic sound all right?
You sound as good as ever.
That's beautiful. That's great.
Yes.
This is girls soccer. You're looking live at Davidson Field. Absolutely beautiful pitch or place to watch any game, really. We play them all there. So
nice. All right. Are you solo? Do you have is it a 3-man booth? What's going on here?
I was solo today, which was tough. So I guess for the people in the chat that don't know, hi. By the way, Cofield, sorry I'm late. I got super hungry right before. I thought I had time to make a smoothie. Made the smoothie, cutting it a little close. That's the reason for my tardiness. Not a great excuse, but that's the honest one.
It's fine. We carried on without you for 3 minutes.
Well, I appreciate you. It's good to be back.
Yeah, where were you last week? What the hell?
Was not here. Where was I?
I think I may have told both of you that it was a night off, or maybe you couldn't make it. I'm not sure.
No, I couldn't make it, but I can't remember what my reason was. It was legit, but I can't remember that far back. That's not good. I need to think about that.
Well, you know what? The Rutgers comments, we'll get to them because we got to get to Oregon State. That's the happy story.
I picked Rutgers because of you, by the way. Not that I care. I don't care about how my bracket does. Really, it's whatever. I think it's fun to pick for friends' schools, and I always pick local teams and ties. So no hard feelings, but I was pulling for the Scarlet Knights. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Otts was out, so that's why we did more of a UNLV based podcast that night. So set this up. What's going on here? Let's play this.
First time calling a soccer game today, and my color commentator that was going to do it with me told me late last night he couldn't do it. I reached back out to everyone I know in the area that would be decent for soccer that I thought would add to the broadcast versus just to have a body there. No one could do it. Girl I know that I went to high school with who was a good soccer player. She's pregnant. Her due date's this week. That was a pretty good reason. Yeah, come on, get out there on the pitch.
Make a sacrifice. Do you want to be a star or not?
I don't think – well, that's the thing, too. I think she's I'm not even a guy that wants to do – or a girl that like she doesn't care about broadcasting. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, I'm just a person that you hit up and I'm pregnant, so I'm not going to do it. So there was a little bit of an intimidation factor. I never called a soccer game before. I don't watch a ton of high school soccer, girls or guys, actually, or any. I don't watch any. So a lot of firsts for me today.
Truth says soccer has to be the easiest sport to call. Do you find that the case?
Well, I kind of figured that because I'm like, okay, positionally, like I thought that, but then I realized as someone who doesn't consume a ton of soccer, I don't know, like with hoops and football, the variety of ways to describe things. Kick, booted it, moving the ball around. Plus, I don't know, I don't know the background of these girls besides she's a junior midfielder. That's it. I don't have.
It was a tough assignment.
So I don't think it's the easiest sport, but I think it could become easy and really fun if I watch more footy.
Ted Lasso gets it, right? Good job, Nicholas. Good line. Can't be that hard. All right, I'm just going to play it.
Can the Sailors trigger a counterattack on the far wing? Robar pushes it ahead. Benedict not there. Now Russo's got it. Russo trying to get to the goal. With the right leg, Russo's kick is in! Goal! Antonella Russo scores her second goal of the season.
I'm going to stop it there because I'm excited to hear the rest of it. I thought that was very good. That was great. The goal call was excellent. Your voice didn't get all squeaky. That was good, man.
It was 0-0 until you like that terminology, by the way.
Yeah,
it was 0-0 until I think that was like the 74th minute. So
dramatic.
So and then when it happened, I was like, oh shit, I get to do the goal thing. And there hadn't been a lot of scoring all season. I think the Sailors had only scored one goal all season, and they'd held their opponent scoreless. It was only game number 3, so I was like, okay, I didn't practice, so I was a little nervous, but I was happy to unleash the goal.
Wow! All right, let's see the analysis. As you have to not only play play-by-play guy, but also color analyst.
16:40 to go in this game, and the sophomore strikes gold with a goal.
Wow. Now, where did you get that from? I've never heard the goal call, then the recap, and you're like, screw it, man. I'm bringing it back.
Yeah, that's Latin America's influence right there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I've heard that on Telemundo.
Wow. Yeah. The chat room is pretty impressed. This is not an easy room to impress.
Wow, I know they'll rip you to shreds if you say like one wrong syllable about something.
Wow. All right, do we keep going? 43-second video. Are you rolling? Oh, there's only 5 seconds left, I think. Oh no, it's 43 left. Are you rolling video at the same time? You got like a little tripod or something?
No, so this is actually kind of sweet. It's like a student teacher run operation.
Oh.
And they just hired me to do the calls. But today was like, there's like a student and a teacher that are running the cameras, and they actually set up the equipment. And then I bring my own mixing board and plug into what they've got. So
this is like, it's like having the vast sound crew from Lotus Broadcasting there. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
1-0. Sailors break the stalemate.
What is this?
Over the St. Clemente Tritons. Tips it over to Gaffney.
Wait a second. I mean, I got to go back. This is a whole nother thing to grade. Wow. I mean, you kind of look like a soccer announcer with the little mustache. The hair's a flopping. I mean, is that a tweed jacket?
It was super windy today. It was like 30-mile-an-hour gusts up there, and the wind was just whipping my hair around.
Brady comes in with a, what the fuck are you wearing? I like it.
Yeah, I think it is tweed. It is tweed.
Wow. That's not true. You're not your own intern.
No, there's interns. In fact, the high school kids, they get really eager and they're like, can we do the game with you? And I have to be like, you gotta, like you gotta pump your, send me your tapes.
Yes. You know how long I've been doing soccer play-by-play? This takes about 48 minutes to this point. Actually, I think you said there was 14 minutes left. So I've been in this game 75 whatever. All right. Keep going. Go away from the tweed jacket. Now, I noticed the Pro Martini Maker. I don't think there are patches on the elbows. That would complete the 1976 look.
So this jacket actually was my great grandpa's, and I think it's
Look.
mid 60s. Yeah,
No.
I think it's based on. I'm basing that on like the tag and the cut. I don't actually think it's 70s. I think it's a little bit older because I think if it was 70s, it would have the patches.
And this was today, right? This is like fresh video from today.
This was this afternoon, and it was super windy. It was cold. In the stadium up there in the shade, it actually gets. We're only like 2 miles from or like a mile from the ocean there, so it's like the wind's whipping.
Do you have a nickname yet for your kind of your play-by-play character?
I don't yet.
I like the
Professor. I like the professor.
I'll do the pregame and last minute before we go to you. Just coming up in 45 seconds. The professor,
dude, I like that.
The professor has the call of the game. The Sailors, dramatic spot. Take it away, Professor.
You know what I like, Cofield? Maybe you do color for UNLV, right?
I do not. I do not do color. I do the sidelines. I pop on about
sidelines
6 times a game. I'm not. I did color for about 4 TV games, and I think the return on that was meh. Now, Curtis Terry is a former basketball player. He knows the game. He's eloquent. He can explain the game.
But just because I always try to get for the color, I always like to get someone that coached or played like Howard Kroom does the play-by-play, the color with me for football. He played at Oregon State. But other than that, like I love calling the color guy. You know, let's go to the coach.
Sure.
Coach, I'm here with the coach. That always has a good feel to it.
I'm big on the coach nickname. Anytime I get a coach on, I'll stretch it out too. I like just calling him coach. It's a sign of respect.
I think that's the best. I don't want to say the best name you can call someone, but in terms of nicknames, I'll always just go with coach, even if I know the coach very well, first name basis, whatever. I'll just hey coach, thanks coach. Coach, you got a second? I love calling people coach.
I do like Doc, but I don't have a doctor insider yet on the show, like an injury insider. So that would be cool to just be able to throw to Doc. What do you think, Doc?
Well, you know, I think it's like an old timey thing. You know, just like back in the day, they would just kind of call people Doc. Right?
Well, I mean, I think now there's like all these weird doctorates of this, so we could probably not Dr. J, but we could probably come up with like a doctor of basketball. You know, you got your doctorate in basketball, so maybe we'll go with we have a guy, Joe Esposito, who's a former college assistant coach. Maybe I don't think Joe's a doc type. We'll have to come up with someone. All right, do we finish this out? I mean, this is thrilling. You got the outfit, the weather's beautiful. That young lady just lived out her dream. Probably going to want this play call for the future. She'll probably have this canned. It's be good stuff for the future.
I've got it canned. I've got it canned already.
All right, let's finish it up.
Tritons tips it over to Gaffney.
Wait,
on the near side
there's
wing.
more?
Sims trying to track it down. Sims ends up with it.
Oh, no. Look at, she's wide open. Good pass. Make the pass.
Changing the point of attack. Inside. Look for the Sailors. Back of the net. That's a goal. The Sailors offense coming alive here in the second half. And they lead San Clemente 2-0. Kenna Robar with her first goal of the season.
Wow. That was good, man.
Thanks, Cofield.
That was really good. You could do tickle to twine. It's not.
I do touch in water polo. I would touch the twine, especially like the Sailors had a boy. They had a kid on the team who's really good. He had like 7 goals the other day. So I'm like, oh, touching the twine, lucky number 7.
Now we got to get the Doc OC. What's up, Doc OC? You'll come up with someone. That was good. That was super impressive. Wow, the second call was great too, and what a beautiful pass. I figured someone was going to be offsides, and nope, they stayed on sides.
That was nice.
Oops. God, I love that the camera switches to you. It's a big
I
time
know,
stuff.
right? I love that they put a third camera on me, and they're like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, I think I might do. No, I think I'll do the lead play-by-play role if we're allowed to be at the Rebel Football Showcase, the UNLV Football Showcase. If they do that in like May, I'm hoping Marcus Arroyo will make it a big media event, and I think I will take over the play-by-play for that. Last year, I ceded play-by-play responsibilities, and I was on the field. I was like, you know what? I'm a sideline reporter. I need to be in the middle of the action, but I think this time I'm going to do play-by-play.
What is the showcase?
They run a couple of plays there. It's
like a spring game.
Yeah. It's a spring game. So they basically just they run a couple of plays here and there, but you really don't do play-by-play. You just talk about the players and the new players and all that. But I was on the field. I was hustling around the field a year ago. I think I'm going to move up. I want my status to be higher. That'll be my demand for my 2021 contract.
That's always like an interesting thing to call. Howard and I a couple of weeks ago did a scrimmage on radio, and it was like a game for the first half, but then they went situational.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, now we're going to do punt return. And so, yeah, you can call each play, but it's like, so the score doesn't matter anymore, and they're running punt return. And so you just get, I guess as a broadcaster, then you get to practice like 5 or 10 punt returns in a row.
It's not bad. Right?
That's not bad.
Players are sharpening the skills. You're sharpening yours. All right, well, this is your show. So go ahead. I don't know what you want to get into. I don't send any topics over. I have no idea what's coming.
Let's start with Oregon State. Let's get right to it because that's been the sports topic on the forefront of my mind. And I know Allie's not here, but Cofield, if you'll recall, when we first started having her on, I realized she was a college hoops fan. And I remember saying, man, I wish I followed college hoops. I wish I was more into Oregon State. I wish Oregon State was good. And I don't even feel bad about that. Like I watched a few Beavs games this season. I watched a couple. I watched a Civil War game. And then I watched Pac-12 tournament championship and semifinals.
Wow.
And at one point, no, I don't, but I don't feel bad because at one point in the season, they lost to University of Portland. They lost. I tweeted that they should fire the coach. A lot of Beavers fans did, not just me. Like most Beavers fans on Twitter were tweeting they should fire the coach. But I don't feel bad because I think that's a beautiful thing about sports that you're able to find that redemption within the year. And that's like, I know I'm a diehard Oregon State football fan, but I admittedly hadn't watched the hoops team as much over the last few years. I watched as much men's as I watched women's over the last few years because the women's team was better. And now I cannot wait for Saturday. Now I'm all in. So I think that's a beautiful thing about when you have a program or a team that's mediocre at best for a decade. And then they find, then they strike some gold. I think it's beautiful.
I think under normal Cofield and Company standards, you would be ripped to shreds right now. But we're a little lighter on the happy hour. I will say not that I live and die as old as I am with a college basketball team, but I do watch all the games, and I really do get mad when I'm watching my Rutgers basketball games. And you're openly admitting basically you didn't really care, and now you're on the bandwagon, just freaking storming into the Sweet 16. And I watched every game, every minute, and I don't get to go to the Sweet 16. It seems unfair, my friend. It seems unfair.
You watched? Did you really watch every game of Scarlet Knights hoops?
Yes, I watch every game. I tape them, and again, I try to watch all of them back.
Are you serious?
Not a second time. No, I mean a lot of times when they're on, I'm on the air, so I'll get home and try to avoid the result. Yeah, I watch all of them. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
No. Nothing's wrong.
I'll just say college basketball is my favorite. Is like of all the sports is my favorite sport. So I like college basketball to begin with.
College basketball is
Derek's like every game. Yeah, that's what fans do. Yeah.
I feel no shame. If people want to call me a bandwagon, they can fuck off. Like seriously, I've got Craig. I covered the basketball team when I was there. I went to games, went to practices. The team was never good, and so I'm sorry that I don't live and breathe it. And now that they're good, that's why you have to have a winning program. That's why you have to win games in your sport.
Hey, in some ways, what you were doing was admirable. I think smart sports fans actually shouldn't watch their team when they suck. I hate to say that, but because I think it's good to support the program, but there comes a point if you're consistently terrible, you're only adding to the problem by actually paying attention and buying the merch. So sometimes they need to hit rock bottom. Here's the wake-up call. Fans aren't interested unless you're winning. If you're not going to try, I'm not watching.
See, I think it's actually commendable what you do, or people that do watch every game when the team sucks. And I watch every Oregon State football game, and the team has sucked for the better part of the decade.
Yeah.
And I'll still watch every game. But maybe that's because I've got a glimmer of hope. With hoops, I had just stopped caring. Like, I'd become so apathetic. And if you think about it, Oregon State hoops had only gone, I mean, they hadn't gone this far. They hadn't won a tournament game since, a decade before I was born. So I feel no shame in turning up, dialing up my.
I'm happy for you. I think I talked today about the hope for UNLV in the future, and I mentioned programs like Oregon State that are never good, that frankly aren't even, a Power 5 basketball program most of the time. I was like,
yeah,
that has to be the goal. That if those kind of teams are making it, or Creighton, who's really a mid-major, screw the Big East, then other mid-majors should strive to reach that level. Just like Reno. We know in this state, Reno's been really good at basketball, and it's freaking embarrassing that UNLV has not been as good. And it's really stupid when people are like, drop the program. Like, shut up. The program up north wins both football and basketball. Of course, we can win down here in this area. So cut it out. But good for you, man. I think it's awesome. I love giant killer angles. Oregon State is not some glamour spot, right? What is Corvallis like?
College town, like population 50,000.
Oh, wow.
It's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful town, small town, revolves around the college. It's about an hour from the coast. It's situated in the forest there near Mary's Peak, one of the taller mountains in the coastal range.
Awesome.
Beautiful place to go to school.
Someone said, funny, everyone. Check that. I'll get to yours, Nicholas. Everyone here would be all aboard UNLV bandwagon if they were playing on Saturday. Of course they would. Yes. That's why when people say no one cares and no one's going to follow, it's a basketball town here and there's a good tradition and people will show up again, but you got to win. You got to win on a consistent basis. So they need to get a couple of years of winning and make the tournament, and people will get fired up again.
And I think to that point, too, I know that UNLV was at one point a college hoops blue blood, but I think there's a difference between hopping on the bandwagon of an Oregon State or UNLV currently or a Loyola, or like someone in the chat who said the alumni who all of a sudden started caring about Florida Gulf Coast hoops and couldn't name a player. I think there's something different about that than hopping on the SC bandwagon or the Oregon Ducks bandwagon when when football was really good and a lot of the fans didn't even go there. I just think there's a difference between hopping on a powerhouse bandwagon and an underdog bandwagon.
Right.
I do think
I'm not going to be mad at the many Rutgers alums at New Jersey University Rutgers if they jumped on, if they hadn't cared over the years that they'd been destroyed by all the losing. I'm not mad at them for that. So
I know. I think you got to welcome it. Like with the Clippers in my pro hoops fandom, I'm always just sitting here saying, hey, bandwagon's open. Because the Lakers bandwagon is open even when they're shitty. And people have been jumping on it forever. So I think if you're a fan of a down and out team or program, you shouldn't police the bandwagon. Keep the doors open.
Yes. And let's see. Nicholas said, true fans watch for those moments that could be the turning point and to not miss unexpected wins. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for against Houston for Rutgers on Sunday, but they blew the lead. So loyal fans are the best. I do respect Alex for being honest and opening himself up to get destroyed. I respect Alex for saying he didn't care, but isn't excited or is excited now. I don't know. Better than acting like a fake diehard. There you go.
Well, I got to be real. Like, I didn't watch the games all season, but also I respect the people that live and breathe every sport for their school. I live and breathe Oregon State football, but with hoops, I have to admit that I didn't watch every game. And even with Oregon State baseball, we're talking about my school. I mean, Oregon State baseball is routinely one of the best programs in the country, won the national title in 2018. And even that season, I didn't watch every game until the end because I'm just not a diehard college baseball fan. That doesn't mean I'm not still pulling for the program. We only have a finite amount of time in our lives. I can't, I'm pulling for the school. Okay. Like, I wear my gear every day. I try to convert people to the Oregon State doctrine every day. I'm sorry I didn't watch every game.
Mark is trying to fan the flames of the Reno UNLV thing, saying that UNR was only good for 3 years under Musselman. They were terrible before and mediocre since. All right. First of all, he was there. He was there 4 years. He won 20 games every year. He took over a program. Just so you know, this is a massive rivalry. People hate Nevada, Reno, Alex. So Eric Musselman took over David Carter's team. They won 9 games a year before. He won 24, 28, 29, and 29. So it was a pretty good run. And Steve Alford has now finished second in the conference, and this year he would have won 20 games, and they will make the NCAAs next year. That's the measuring stick. And by the way, they were never good before. They made 4 straight tournaments from 2003 to 2007, and they had good coaches like Trent Johnson and Mark Fox. So I'm not saying before, this century they were good often, but this century they've been pretty solid. And frankly, head to head, they're the better program. UNLV has got a lot of catching up to do, and they better do it quickly.
I want to get to the UNLV stuff in a minute, and by that I mean I do want you to explain to me the situation or why people are mad about the coach. I'm curious about that, the new hire. Admittedly, I don't follow that, but I do want to pose: is it bad? Is it bad karma to root against Sister Jean?
Oh boy,
to want to see her go down? Is it bad? Is that bad for me?
Dude, you have found the right, I'm guessing the right podcast, the right crowd. This crowd has already been conditioned by, who do you think on Cofield and Company has been just eviscerating Sister Jean for 3 years?
Seems like an Adam Hill thing.
You nailed it. Yep.
He seems like
Brady says, define go down, you prick. You want her to die?
Well, so as I said to you in the rundown, Cofield, which I know you don't read, but Oregon State, we've got our own Sister Jean, who doesn't have the hype. Bud Ossie, also 103 years old. I've met the man on several occasions, and he's the only living person to be at every Oregon State has a penchant for upsetting the USC Trojans in football in big moments. And he was at the game in 1993. Sorry, not 1993. 1933. He was at the game in 1933. He was at the game in 1967. He was the statistician for that game. And he was at the game in 2006 and 2008. And I guarantee he's the only living human to be at all 4 games. He's 103 years old. He's just the most diehard Beaver fan. And he can't. So Sister Jean came on in a year when we weren't in a pandemic. Bud Ossie can't go to the game and get the TV hype, but guarantee the school would fly him out there because he leaves Wayne Tinkle to coach voicemails saying, Beaver Nation's behind you. We've got your back. And Tinkle listens to him and plays him for the team. Bud Ossie would be there and he would get Sister Jean hype if this wasn't a COVID year. And so it's a little unfair. We're not going to get that Sister Jean cred, and it's a little unfair. It's a branding thing.
No, they're getting it because look, can you see it?
Yeah.
One of the writers up there, Loyola Chicago, has 101-year-old, 101, Bud Ossie. This was sent to a thread that we have going for the show, and I was like, oh, shit, we have to do this again. I've avoided Sister Jean the entire tournament. I think, when is Adam on? Adam Hill's back on Friday. I don't mention Sister Jean because I'm like, dude, it gets so uncomfortable because you do have people listening. I know Brady was kind of kidding there, but you do have people listening when you're like, I hate Sister Jean. They're like,
dude, that's so gnarly.
Come on. So I don't know on this show if you want Bud Ossie to get a lot of attention.
Yeah, no, because Bud, I've been to Bud's house.
He's
a saint. He's a saint.
JVT, she's the worst. She doesn't do shit. She sits in a wheelchair and smiles. She's old.
It's actually diabolical to me to go on air on terrestrial radio and say that you hate Sister Jean.
Yes,
that's insane.
You're already walking the fine line by saying you hate a person of the cloth. Unless they've been allegations, then that's okay. That's fair game, but that's dangerous to begin with. And then it's this old lady who's a freaking 100+.
It's all about her. JVT, it's all about her.
That's both of them say that all the time, that she's very selfish.
And I get that actually, because I get that because my boy Bud.
It's all about her. Be humble.
My boy Bud.
No pictures this time. It's
No
about
one's talking.
it's about the
No
team.
one's talking. No one's talking about Bud Ossie. Everyone's talking about Sister Jean.
Well, that's all about the team, right? If the team advances and Loyola gets knocked out, then Oregon State's going to get the attention. And Bud Ossie will get the attention.
God, I hope they do.
Wow.
Bud Ossie told me that the key to living to his age was to have a cocktail every day after work. Just one.
What does he drink?
But every day. What did we drink? I think I had a gin and
by the
tonic.
way, how is he not on this podcast?
I really don't.
Are you connected or not? Come on.
I'm connected. I just don't know. Shit, that's a good idea. He would be technologically. This would be tough. Technologically, this would be tough. He stopped driving a couple years ago. I know.
You know what, Scott? It doesn't. With the karma thing, we're fucked. Stop. There's so many reasons for us all to perish horribly.
Oh, it's so tough. Well,
jitterbug jokes.
I'm getting.
Wait. This is great. Does she really? How much is it? You know what's funny? I really didn't understand Cameo. God, who was I around the other? Oh, that's right. And who did they get for him? Fuck, I cannot remember. Naked City Chris, our buddy down at Naked City Pizza, his 40th was a couple of weeks ago. His girlfriend got him a couple of ponies who were standing outside. Something from what's that show? Letterkenny? Is that what it's called? And it was like a super soft birthday with like horses. His girlfriend got him the ponies, and then he got a Cameo. But God Almighty, I can't remember who the Cameo is from. And then I started looking. Have you ever looked through Cameo to see the prices and who's up there?
I haven't looked. I've gotten. I got a Cameo sent to me. Like my friend group, one of our friends sent us a Cameo from some porn star, but I don't know. Like it was not one. I didn't recognize her. Not that means anything. You know, I wouldn't recognize any of them, but I certainly didn't recognize this one.
Oh no, I'm looking on Cameo now. Let's see. Is this Sister Jean?
Brady sent us Sister Jean.
24-hour delivery service.
When you know what's so fucked up about the internet is that it can actually. See the internet and like ESPN or I guess TV media, it can make you hate someone like Sister Jean. Like it can make you actually feel a feeling of dislike and hatred for Sister Jean.
There she is. Overexposed, right? Overexposed. Nah, with Adam and I think, frankly, these are the times when I'll definitely say that JVT is part of the Adam Hill hosting tree. Adam is rubbed off on JVT. JVT wasn't quite as bitter when we first met him, when he was fresh off the barista gig and got into radio. Adam has hurt the cause a little bit. So JVT he doesn't mean it.
Well, just to answer JVT's question in the chat about whether or not I would or wouldn't recognize a porn star, I actually took a class in college at Oregon State, digital pornography in the new media department, where we dove into a variety of aspects of porn, sociological, psychological, economical, business. It was a really interesting class. So to answer this question, I would recognize many of the top. I've watched the AVN Awards before, so.
We got a video here. Thanks, Brady. This will be another copyright issue, I'm sure. See what happens. Come on, Sister Jean. Bring it up. I didn't mean that way. Oh, God. She's not ready.
Hi, Ryan. It's great to connect with Loyola alumni. I hope your job at Price Waterhouse Coopers is going well. And I know this is a very busy time for you with tax season upon us. And when you add in the challenge of working from home, that makes work even more stressful.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't.
I think we got to send one of these to Adam Hill. I think we got to get Adam Hill a Sister Jean cameo. Cofield, you're not in the room.
talk to myself. I'm just talking to myself out of the room.
Oh, because you don't want to go to hell?
Exactly.
You don't want to go to hell, so you're going to talk to yourself in the room where God can't hear you.
Yeah, well, here we go. $25 for that video. What do you think?
I think Adam Hill needs one, man. Do you think anyone sends her like really dirty prompts and then they have to, like, she has to decline them?
Just stop, please. Don't do this.
Someone does.
Hi, Adam. It's great. You're such a super fan. I love God.
Adam seems like he'd be like he'd be a militant atheist. Am I right in that?
I don't know about militant, but he's definitely not. He's been lost. He's been lost. He's out. I don't know when he was out. I'm guessing 5 or 6 years old, but he's out. Adam's birthday is in June. So remind us. We'll do it behind the scenes.
Man, you might want to do it sooner than that. Like, Sister Jean is up there in age.
Can you imagine if you get her to read this? This is Sister Jean. This is for treating me badly. You're going straight to hell, son. Yeah, Twitter on the shitter with calling her a tramp. I mean, come on, guys. It's just not right.
It is not. I mean, actually, have you seen the trend? Where did it start? I'm sorry I don't have this on hand, but who was it that shared DMs after a loss recently about like death threats and that?
EJ Liddell from Ohio State.
Yeah, but now I've seen a lot of athletes doing that. I saw the social media manager for the Trailblazers on Twitter tonight talking about, they got, people are in her DMs, hope your plane crashes since you guys lost. So now I'm seeing like this is nothing new to us, especially this is nothing new to anybody who's, I think, in the proximity of the Cofield and Company Late Night Happy Hour, in the mindset of many in this chat. But I think there's a trend right now of people sharing those things.
It's gross, but it's not unexpected because there's no, what's the penalty, right? I mean, there was a somewhat famous gambler who was profiled and had his overall profile increased by Darren Ravel, who's got the judgment of I don't know who. He's fucking awful. But that guy, what was his name? Patty? Something Patty. Parlay Pat was sending threats to athletes, and they actually tracked him down, and he got a 5-year sentence for threatening athletes, telling them,
shit,
he's gonna cut their head off because they played poorly and he lost a bet. So Parlay Pats, you're right, Parlay Pats. My bad. So super quick, you want to mention UNLV and why? I'll just tell you why people aren't happy. So people had an expectation here that they would go and get a big name coach, and instead they moved the assistant over, Kevin Kruger, who was on the staff of the guy who was here, TJ Altenberger, who's off to Iowa State. Kevin Kruger's dad was the coach at UNLV. Lon Kruger, who's at Oklahoma now, was the coach from 2004 to 2011, I think it was. And now Kevin's 38. Kevin played a year for UNLV. Last time they made it to the Sweet 16, he was one of the best players on the team. And he's a basketball savant. And he's going to be a head coach eventually. So UNLV jumped at him a little bit early, try to keep some continuity in the program. The response to that may be they suck. Well, I don't think they completely suck. I think they have 6 or 7 guys they can build around. So that's why they hired him. I don't think they went cheap. We had the AD on today. She said they had a list of somewhere between 15, 16 people originally. They got down to 6 finalists, 3 people of color, 3 others, and they decided on Kevin Kruger. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, they cheaped out. They didn't want to spend the money. They have the money. And I don't, it's like they paid, they got $3.3 million in a buyout. They were paying Otzelberger somewhere between 1.1 million and 1.5. And they're starting Kevin Kruger out at 750, and by his 5th year, he'll be up to almost 900,000. And guess what? If he's 3 years in and he actually is successful and they're making the tournament, then he's going to get a raise. So, but I get it. People are feeling really desperate. They think the only way for UNLV to win is to get a gigantic name. But it's not always the case, folks. Not always the case.
No, I think actually these, I don't think this is apples and oranges, but it's different. But comparing this to just my team, Oregon State football.
Oh, be careful.
I'll tread lightly here. But yeah. before the Beavers hired Jonathan Smith as their head coach, who I think was absolutely the right hire in turning the program around. People were talking about, is Kevin Sumlin available? Is Les Miles available? We want a big name. We want to go after a Mac Brown, Les Miles, Kevin Sumlin type. And I think all three of those would have been major failures. I mean, especially with what we've seen from Les Miles. We saw Kevin Sumlin in the Pac-12 in Arizona, and they went with someone who was homegrown, Jonathan Smith, who was the old quarterback. And I think it was the right call. So I think a program like UNLV trying to right the ship, staying like quote unquote in-house or in-house adjacent, and not getting the big name that wins the headlines. I mean, you don't want to win the headlines the week you hire the person. You want to be in the headlines in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So I actually like it as an outsider looking in from the way you described it, Cofield.
What do you know, buddy? No.
Nothing.
On the big name thing, I sent over a factoid your way. I forget who posted it on Twitter. We don't have to give him credit. That's the way we work. Note the other day, with Kansas losing in the NCAA tournament, the 14 highest paid public school coaches in men's basketball this season are now done. Of the 20 highest paid this season, only 2 have teams still playing: Mick Cronin at UCLA and Oregon's Dana Altman. So just because you have super salary doesn't mean that you're automatically going to make it to the tournament or to the Sweet 16. So there you go.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm straight up against the big name hire, but I'm just always about the right hire. I'm kind of against the big name hire unless it really makes sense. I think more times than not, it doesn't work out at the college level.
You know, on the press conference thing, I thought Kevin Kruger did fine. He was a little bit nervous. He's also, he's not like an insane level public speaker. I think he'll get a lot better. And he's a lot like Dave Rice. Dave Rice was the old coach, a couple of coaches back here, now 3 coaches back here, Alex at UNLV, and he was very measured and was very careful and didn't want to offend anybody, didn't want to provide any bulletin board material, but away from the court or away from his gig, he's actually a very affable guy. And Kevin Kruger's the same way, and he'll get better. He'll get better. And frankly, the whole win the press conference thing, who gives a shit?
Dude, I hate that.
It's like, hey, great. You throw out a bunch of superlatives and we're going to fight and, we're going to eat kneecaps off of people. Like the work is done on the recruiting trail. The work is done on the transfer recruiting trail. The work is done by networking. And then the work is done, obviously, in practice and in the games and making adjustments. So we'll see how he does. I'm encouraged by it. I thought it was, it was one of the 3 or 4 people that I thought would be good for the job. And, I think they're going to hold the majority of this team together, and he's a much better recruiter than he's given credit for because, the information on who actually lands players really doesn't get out there a whole lot. So I think he's going to kick ass. I think he's going to be a good hire.
Well, we'll check in a couple of years back on the late night happy hour.
Yes. Well, it'll be before that, right? I don't have any information on the assistants. Yes, Lon Kruger will help him, especially when his coaching career is over. I agree. UNLV basketball and Oregon State football is a little inaccurate. But that's all. That is also part of UNLV fans being a bit jaded. Yes, UNLV did have its glory era. Well, it had multiple glory years. There were great teams throughout the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. UNLV made the tournament 6 of 7 years back with Lon Kruger and Dave Rice, but it's been down for 8 years, so program's not quite where it was. Oregon State football has been really bad though at times, has it not? It had a history for a while of being. It was kind of Northwestern like, right, and Kansas State like for a long time.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, terrible. I mean, it's not a fair comparison, but I just don't like big name. I mean, okay, let's take it to another school, Arizona football. I mean, they hired the big name. They hired Kevin Sumlin. Everyone was hyped on it. He probably won the press conference. He got fired after 3 seasons and having the all-time worst loss to the rival. I know this is football and hoops, but I just think in college sports more than pro, there's a lot of there's people like that. You just the Rebels just hired.
Sorry, Doug. I thought you were saying it was inaccurate. Sorry, that was a shot, I guess. Okay, keep going.
I think it was a shot at UNLV. No, I just think that you can make the right hire in college sports, and it's more often than not the big name.
Right. people may not believe it now, but Dana Altman was actually like the 7th or 8th choice at Oregon. They whiffed on so many candidates. So it's not always
Yeah,
big. Brian Dutcher, I'm sure, there was a while there San Diego State fans were like, is Dutch going to be good taking over for Steve Fisher? He's been fine. Not everyone knew who Tom Izzo was. Not everyone knew who Bo Ryan was to Greg Gard. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I've heard names about other people that Brady was asking about, the other 6 finalists. I've heard names. Ask Adam is on tomorrow, Hill. So he had a couple of names, but I'm not going to give out his scoops on his names. So, but they were, I'm pretty sure at least 2 of them were in the last story that Sam Gordon wrote a couple of days ago, and it was not some of the big names. So I would love to, one other thing that came out today, there was a lot of stuff that came out today in our interview with the AD. One that I was really surprised at, she actually did confirm that she offered an extension at the very end to Otzelberger, which I thought was really weird, and I'm not sure that a lot of people would have been super thrilled if they found out that he had gotten an extension for like another year. I think there would have been some backlash on that one, but some of the other names I would be shocked unless it was in the final 6 it wouldn't be a courtesy interview. Some of the other names out there like Mike Woodson, that one was kind of crazy. So I think there were some names put on the list as favors to people, but I don't know.
I just like to go on the record as saying I like the hire. I approve the hire.
Good, man. Good. You can gloat about it.
I will. I'll come back. I'll revisit this.
We'll see with Jayhawk. I'm not sure. Yeah, Justin Hawkins is a former player who's been at Pacific for a while. I don't know what's going to happen there. I have a feeling. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going to happen with the other assistants. So I wish Slocum would stay around. I'm not sure he will. I think Tim Buckley was probably leaving anyway at the end of the year. So we'll see what kind of staff Kevin Kruger puts together. I like Doug Cross. Why do you like the hire? Because Cofield seems to like him.
No, just because I just think that people get caught up in the spotlights and they get caught up in winning the press conference.
Yeah.
And I think that the best way to rebuild in college sports is to go something either homegrown or to give a young, hungry guy from the lower ranks his first shot. And that's where a lot of the guys that we consider to be the big names and the greats, they made their names as a young, hungry guy or as an insider getting their first shot. So that's why I like the hire, just from more of like a conceptual standpoint.
Yeah, I'm almost certain with the assistants that Deshaun Henry is staying around. He's the director of basketball ops, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, I don't know who he is. He's very instrumental in local recruiting, and I was told the other day with some of the players that they would probably stay around because Deshaun has massive influence on them. So I hope that's the case. I hope there you go. You're getting agreement. Alex is coming off as a UNLV expert here. Positive thinking, exactly.
Go Rebels, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Kevin Kruger seemed genuine about it being his dream job, doesn't want to leave in the next 10 years. And I think he really likes it here. So, as long as they can compensate him, he comes from a family that has some money. Kevin played a little professional basketball. Kevin's doing fine. So I don't know that he'll jump at some mega offer immediately, as long as they can up his pay a little bit. But as I keep saying on the air and I say on these podcasts, this is such a weird market because of what Otzelberger just did. Alex, the last coach just left after 2 years, and he left for his dream job at Iowa State. And everyone's like, who do we hire? Because now we got to hire someone good. And they, we want them to stay. Like, how about win first and then worry about someone leaving? So I don't think Kevin has another dream job. I don't think it's Arizona State. I don't think it's Oklahoma. So.
No, that's always a funny thing in college sports is when you're like, we're going to lose this guy. It's like, well, he's, sorry to bring it back to OSU, but I remember like Gary Anderson won the Civil War and it was like, oh my God, okay, we got to extend him. We got to keep him here. Like, dude, he quit halfway through the next season because he was like, maybe banging a cheerleader, something like that.
So what else we got tonight? What else we got?
I'd like to shift out of the sports lane.
Do it.
And get into the food lane because I just don't want to not get in the food lane. You brought to my attention, Cofield, that it's National Chip and Dip Day.
Yeah, that was actually Ari found that.
Shout out.
Ari, good job. Ari, I think, has given up on the podcast where we talk about him too much. So he's like, I need a mental break. Chip and dip day. What feelings do you have right now?
Hunger, well, instant hunger. And I think that we talked quite a bit about chips and dip around the Super Bowl, the importance of the chip and the dip at the Super Bowl. And then I remember you, me, and Allie, when we were running through our Super Bowl snack bracket, getting in, we had to get a chip and a dip in there. And then we kind of had a debate over which one it would be. I think we ended up with the 7-layer dip. But just to answer your initial question, Cofield, hunger is what comes to mind. If I had to put you on the spot, put a gun to your head right now, put a spotlight on you and ask you desert island, you can only have one chip and one dip. What are you going with?
Man, I might have to. Do I have to look up our buddy on Sirius XM, Dustin Swedelson? I don't even remember. We were putting up some of his top 10 list. There was a very controversial one. I can't remember what the list was, but he had best dips a while ago. I'm stalling here because I'm thinking along the boring lines, but I think some people are going to fire in some dips that I may go crazy over. I mean, I'm very much into tortilla chips and salsa, but my whole thing on the chips, I'm done with the store-bought brand name chips. Over the years, they really do suck. Are there any good ones?
I mean, I think the classics. I think you still play the hits. Like I still will pick up some Fritos.
Okay, no. Fritos are nice, but I'm talking tortilla chips.
Oh.
I don't think there are any good ones, and especially when you live in LA or when you live in Vegas, and you've got such a big Mexican American culture and population. Like we have some really good Mexican markets here, and then even in some of the other stores, you can get some of those, higher quality chips that are like restaurant chips. For anyone out there buying like the store-bought big brands, what's the point? They don't even taste like tortilla anymore.
I totally agree.
This is an angry rant. I don't want to bring the show in this direction, but I just very frustrated.
And I don't think that makes you a chip snob. I just think that that's a commitment to quality, and it's not a price thing. The good chips, the good tortilla chips are never. In fact, oftentimes they can be cheaper.
They can be cheaper. Sure, they can be cheaper. I don't need frills with the bag. Right. That's the other thing. The big chip companies, enough with the goddamn air and making the bag look big.
Big
the
chip.
bag is this big, but it's chock full of chips. Then I'm good. I don't know. At some of the local grocery stores here, like the label that's like. There's no money put into the label, and it's like this crappy quality bag. You open it, and then you throw it in a freaking Ziploc bag. I don't need the advertising. Give me good chips.
It's like the big name hire. It's like the big name hire in college athletics.
Way to pull it together. I don't need the Rick Pitino of chips. Controversial and kind of dirty chips. I don't need that. I'm out.
Well, and if the price is a little lower, I might buy 2 bags.
Wow. All right. Well, let's. I guess we can discuss variety of chips. And I agree with you. The Tostitos. That's one of the brands I have a problem with. Just in general, there's so many dips. So salsa is almost kind of boring. Let's get a little wild with the dips.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
So it's National Chip and Dip Day.
Yeah.
Does what we're picking and discuss? I mean, I guess we don't have to pick one, but just in theory, do we have to pick a chip that goes with a dip?
I think all chips go with all dips, but I get crazy. But maybe
that is crazy, bro.
Maybe those are the parameters, like a buffalo chicken dip. What chip do you use with that? That's a newer dip. It's a dip that's picking up steam lately. What do you use? I'll say first of all, you have to use a strong chip.
It's got to be a thick chip.
Like if you're just like so, gotta be a thick chip.
Well, because I recently had a buffalo chicken dip, and I just imagined using Lay's, and I'm like,
that's what I just thought about. Like, Lay's, like, what do you have to do? Like, you got to do like 5 Lay's, and I think they're still gonna break in your hand.
They're gonna break. You're gonna have a chip graveyard.
Yep, that's a good point. The chip graveyard.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the worst. And then you don't know if it's someone else's chip, and you're like,
Wait a
clean up the
second.
debris.
What are Maui onion chips? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Where's the I missed the Maui. Where is it? Up
Maui
there?
onions up. Maui onion. You never had Maui onion?
Now, where do you get those?
A lot of fine sandwich retailers will often. A lot of sandwich shops carry them.
All right.
I don't know the brand, but there is Nicholas Fernandez. I don't know if we're talking about the same brand, but there's one brand, like a sweet Maui onion. There's one brand I always see, and I never even give it much thought, but they don't miss really. They're just like they're a solid chip.
Carvelli said, my concern is not the chips. I have a hard time finding restaurant grade salsa. That's kind of true.
That's fair because similar, Cofield, to your talk about the store brand tortilla chips, I do think if you go with a low quality salsa,
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying it can't. I think there's more leeway with the salsa, but a low quality salsa is bad.
The audience will really appreciate this because I've had a lot of success with the clearance aisle, but there was a clearance disaster last year when I tried to buy some. I think it was some tri-tip on clearance, and it didn't work out. It just was not, the meat was just not quality. I actually bought some. I bought some salsa on clearance the other day. It was a mango pineapple. I haven't opened it yet. I think I have to go around the corner tonight and get some chips. You think? I mean, I think there's like, if you buy salsa on clearance, there's like another 2 days, 3 days. It's sealed.
Yeah. It's sealed, and they always there's always more time than they tell you that there is.
Oh, of course. Milk, I'm definitely going 10 days past the date on milk.
Oh yeah, you're good.
And as soon as it gets a little chunky, then you know it's no good. You spit it out.
You'll know if it's bad. Yeah, you'll know if it's bad.
You smell it.
I disagree. Brady just tagged us on Twitter in that Dustin Swindelson.
Oh, here's the diplet. Yeah. Let me did he not do a graphic for this one? How lazy is this guy? Oh, come on. Trying to do a show here, and you got this list 3 weeks ago. We want to reference. We want to give Dustin a little bit of pub. Do you want to read it off, and I'll try to punch it up here?
Yeah, here's the top 10, working from 10 down. I'll lead into 1. Number 10, ranch. Number 9, hummus.
Can we stop? Can we stop right away?
Yeah.
Ranch is another hot topic on Cofield and Company. We have people.
Go ahead.
Who hate ranch. Hate it.
What's wrong with them, man?
I'm not a ranch fan, but I don't look down on people who like ranch. And it wouldn't be my choice for chicken wings, but man, people get pissed off on the whole ranch versus blue cheese thing.
I just think there's a place for both. I don't know why we have to be so exclusionary.
I don't know.
Well, so I actually think this is a really great time for me to talk about my background a little bit. I worked.
I'm going to leave for a little while. Go ahead. You got the.
This actually is really important.
I love the way you introed that. I think it's a really good time for me to talk about myself.
I worked for 2 summers at the Orange County Fair, summer 2010 and summer 2011, at Tasty Chips, and we were voted the best fried potato product at the fair. And we were not French fries; we were just homemade potato chips, just sliced, cooked to order, just churning them out, fresh potato chips. And then they were served. You could just get them plain. You could get them you could salt them yourself. You could get a side of ranch. You could get a side of nacho bacon cheese dip. You get a side of jalapeno cheddar cheese dip. And that was pretty much it. They had like malt vinegar as well. You could like make your own salt and vinegar chips. That was pretty much it. You could do ketchup. But those were really good fresh potato chips. I just bring that up because a lot of people just got them with ranch, which at first I was like, potato chips and ranch. But with the fresh potato chip and the ranch, it was amazing.
Brady says, I love how Alex has become a hand talk now with the chip talk. I'm gonna try to find something that might dissuade people on the whole blue cheese thing, because we've got people saying they can coexist. I don't hate blue cheese. I don't love it. Yeah, why all the hate? Ranch and blue cheese can coexist, damn it. Has anyone seen the guy who turns Facebook beefs into little jingles. He was on Fallon. Is that enough of a clue? Has anyone seen this? I'm gonna try to look.
Him. I'm trying to find a picture of when I worked at Tasty Chips. If people wanted to see that, but that's not really important. Let's go back to the list here. So 10 was ranch, 9 was hummus, 8 was guacamole, which I think is way too low.
Yeah, I think so too.
Where's Dustin Swedelson based out of?
He's LA now. Yeah, he's LA.
Well, then he's fucking up.
Yep.
Clearly, he's not having good. He's not really living the right life out here. Number 7, French onion, which I actually also think is low, but that's me personally. Number 6, baba ganoush. Number 5, buffalo chicken dip. Number 4, crab dip. Number 3, spinach artichoke. Number 2, queso / nacho cheese. Number 1, salsa. It's the top 10.
I'm here. I think crab dip's too high. I'm sorry.
I don't want to. What do I say? How do I say this? I don't want to ruin my credibility, but I don't know if I've ever had crab dip, to be honest.
I don't think that's a credibility issue. Yeah, I don't think you're no. Oh no, Doug's all over Dustin Swedelson. Whoever made this list sucks. Whomever, sorry, I don't want to get that wrong.
Well, okay, I've got a question though, and I don't want this to sound like exclusionary. I don't want to leave out the Middle East, but I know hummus and baba ganoush are dips, but I think it's maybe I don't think of them as a dip first and foremost. Does that make sense?
Really? What else is hummus?
I think of hummus. Yes, I guess you do dip in it.
Is it a condiment?
Well, it's interesting. The word dip is interesting to describe food because it's kind of a verb that we're then turning into a noun, you know?
I feel like we've Americanized hummus so it is a dip now.
Exactly, and baba ganoush. But I think if you go to a Mediterranean restaurant, like a Lebanese restaurant, and you get like the mezza platter, they're not necessarily bringing that out, you know, with some olives maybe and some hummus and some baba ganoush and this and that. They're not necessarily bringing that out for you to dip into. We just dip into it because that's what we do as Americans.
Isn't hummus used with vegetables? Gross. Okay.
Glad we still got people holding it down with those kind of
things.
things.
James is out on something, or he's just out on the conversation. He's leaving.
Out.
It's not Gaba ganoush.
I love baba ganoush. I just like, you know, I just don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
By the way, this is such an awesome wild card. How about just pieces of French bread and au jus? Well, it's not a chip though. Is there technically a chip that could soak stuff up better? Am I missing something?
A soaking chip, if you will. I mean,
a chip's got to be kind of hard. You can't. I mean, I was thinking pita, but there's pita chips, and they're not going to soak up.
A crouton.
Yeah. But then you do get thrown off because it is called a French dip. But it is chip and dip day. It's not just random dip day.
Well, that's why. So that's what begs the question that I brought up at the beginning was, is it important for the chip and dip to be, you know, linked? But you said, Cofield, that you'll dip almost anything in anything because you're a crazy mofo.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll do tortilla chips or Fritos in pretty much anything.
Fritos. So I think the Fritos scoops in the buffalo chicken dip is the move.
Oh, they're strong. Those chips are so strong, and then you can get so much of the chicken dip up in the little ladle chip.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Wow, this sounds like the end of Cofield and Company. Adam was like orgasmic on the air of our Olive Garden. It got really weird. Stormy Bonatoni was on, high level Italian. You can't challenge that. Her last name is Bonatoni, and boy, this could have gotten really ugly. If we were anti Olive Garden, she was driving doing the interview, and she was like, I didn't expect to be driving. I was just driving back from Olive Garden. We just got some takeout, and both of us were like, that is great. That's great. There's so many people who hate the OG, and I don't understand it. There's so many Italian food snobs. Cut it out.
I mean, I guess I'll keep my mouth shut then.
No, you can do it. You can do it.
I just, you know what? The last time I ate at Olive Garden was the night before 9/11. I haven't been back since. Not related to 9/11, but that was the last.
That's a hell of a break for Olive Garden to cross it off the list.
But like, you know how you always remember what you did on like where you were on 9/11? I also remember clearly that was the last time I went to Olive Garden was September 10th, 2001. Unrelated to the terrorist attack.
I absolutely should have made a story out of my I have some issues with my teeth, like they're falling apart, but I also hadn't gone to the dentist in like 17 years, and finally was like, all right, I have to get one of these pulled. And Ryan McKinnell was blown away. You know, when you come from money, like, you know, medical attention is readily, you know, it's readily available. So he's at the dentist all the time. That's not the case, but that was actually the last time. Like, I didn't go to the dentist for like 16 years because I was at a dentist office on 9/11.
Is that real?
But that's not why I didn't go. But I actually was. I was listening to. I went to the dentist. It was early morning. I got out of the dentist. I think I got a little glimpse of something going on one of the TVs. I get in my car, and Howard Stern was doing basically live play-by-play of 9/11.
That's crazy, man. That's a good reason not to go to the dentist.
Yeah. Bin Laden ruined the OG, ruined Olive Garden for Crawford.
I've never been a huge Olive Garden guy. I mean, I know Crawford's not an Italian last name, but I do come from Italian heritage on my mom's side. Yeah. And I've just been spoiled growing up with really good homemade Italian food. And we wouldn't set foot in Olive Garden, but it sounds like your Italian guest does. So I don't want to disrespect her roots.
No one's saying it's great. It's cheap. It's, you know, they have a bunch of combos. You get the bread and the salad. It's fine. There's East Coast credentials or shame on you. It's like, come on, you know.
You know what? Speaking of
pasta and sauce, is pretty hard to ruin unless someone's putting some ketchup-y type sauce on it. So the OG is okay. It's okay in my book.
I don't know if this is in the same category, but I've been craving like a Chili's lately. I haven't been to like a chain restaurant like that since before COVID.
Yeah. I do feel like over the years, either I've gotten a more refined palate, which I don't think that's the case. I feel like Chili's and Applebee's have actually gotten a little worse for over the last like 15 years. Maybe not. But the last couple of times I've gone, I've been like, wow, it's not great.
I feel the same way. I would love to go get like drunk at a Chili's. I haven't done anything like that in so long.
Got to do it, man. All right, can I play you the this
gotta
bit?
Do it.
No, hey, you got to do it. This bit is basically there's some dude who makes quickie songs out of internet fights. It's weird. So apparently there was an internet discussion a few years ago about salad dressing, and this is what it turned into. And you know what? I'm just going to say, I know there's a person checking this, so whoever is monitoring YouTube, we're running this video on YouTube. All right, I'm promoting your product. I'm using your video on your service. Don't copyright claim me. By the way, it's an automatic. It's not. But anyway, I don't feel like looking too hard for this video. I think everyone's going to hate this, but I think it's pretty creative.
Which salad dressing is your favorite? Can Steakhouse blue cheese dressing?
Blue cheese has mold in it.
Blue cheese.
Blue cheese has mold in it.
This argument is actually going on the internet.
Has mold in it. Ranch is good.
Blue cheese.
There is mold in blue cheese grows.
Depends a lot on what kind of salad I put it on. I imagine raspberry tastes good with chicken and turkey. Nuts and seeds of fruit, while chunky blue cheese might be yummy with tuna perhaps. Personally, I like a honey mustard dressing.
Oh, so you like chunky mold dressing, huh? Oh, blue cheese has mold in it. Blue cheese has mold in it.
All right, yay or nay? Terrible?
I don't like content like that, but I think it's super creative and I respect.
Amazing family vacation.
This is
Get it out. My God, enough.
What are you doing?
Thanks, Doug. Doug, raining on the parade. Okay. I get it.
I don't love content like that, but I get it, and I think it's funny. It's just not. I'm not going to seek that out. But that was funny. I just never going to watch it.
Well, Carvelli, that was actually on Fallon. It was Allison Brie and whoever that guy is, and Fallon. It wasn't just TikTok. By the way, if you're not going to TikTok after all the times I've told you, I'm telling you, the food hacks up there are awesome. Like,
It's actually legit.
There's such basic stuff for morons who can't cook. I made I saw someone just do a simple like hack on pot stickers. You know, you can buy pot stickers at Trader Joe's. You can go to like Costco and get a bag of like 500 of them. And someone just did like, it was basically pot stickers boiled, soy sauce, and then this sauce from, I think I actually put it up on Instagram a couple weeks ago. This little canister of kind of sauce from Trader Joe's called Chili Onion Crunch. And you just mix it together with the.
Oh
the
my
pot.
God.
It was awesome. It's like this stupid little hack. We showed the other one where you're folding the giant tortilla into 4 quadrants. That's a good one. There's so many easy things up there. You got to watch it.
Dude, the chili onion crunch is so good.
It's good, man.
Oh, it's legit.
Oh, shit. Oh, wait. Fair use. I can use it? Okay, then we're good to go? I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Speaking of chips and dip, I actually, in the city of Los Angeles on Sunday, for the first time in months, I'm not listening to Brady's comment, for the first time in months, dined indoors at a bar, got nachos and salsa and fresh tortilla chips and a banana margarita. It was delicious.
Yes, no?
Chili's does have corn on the cob. They have really good corn on the cob.
Are you in?
Actually.
One on the cob sober. Are you in?
Oh yeah. Just I'm not gonna gnaw on it as much.
Hey, these things happen, you know? These things happen.
Getting wasted at Japanese barbecue.
From a tech standpoint, this is a good point. I have no idea. Is Twitter going to have some sort of feed other than Periscope? I thought there was Twitter live video. I guess it's not Twitter. It's up to StreamYard. I'm sure StreamYard's going to come up with something. They'll come up with something. Yeah. I think Pizza Hut's changed over the years. I used to go to a classy Pizza Hut right after the morning show I did back like 97, 98. And it would open at, I think it opened at 10. No, it couldn't have been 10. It opened at 11. God, it's freaking 20 years ago. It was a good, Pizza Hut had a good, solid, non-CC's like buffet. It was good, man. Little pinwheel pasta.
Dude, I used to go to Pizza Hut.
Good.
Oh yeah. I used to go to Pizza Hut after Little League, like T-ball and stuff, first grade. A lot of fun memories. So many arcade games, the salad bar. The pizza was better back then. And Chili's used to be better too. Applebee's, I'm not sure about because I didn't eat a lot of Applebee's, but I ate a ton of Chili's in my youth. And Chili's used to be better. The Pizza Hut used to be better. The quality of most major corporate chain food, I think, has gone down a lot in the last decade or 2 decades. Maybe I'm old man, get off my porch, but I really think it has gone down.
Will it come back? If Boulder City had the Pizza Hut buffet, could it come back? Or has the pandemic just ruined all these buffets?
I don't know if it's a great time for the return of buffets, to be honest.
That's
but you guys have a buffet culture where you live, and I don't.
We do. But
Yeah.
then you also have to be trusting, and do you trust you trust fellow man in these cases? I'm not sure I do yet. I know I don't actually. I don't even know why I said yet. I know it's going to be a while before I trust anyone. So that's it. I'm not going to go on some masking rant. I don't need to.
I rode the bus today for the first time in over a year.
Yeah, what was that like?
I'm getting more trustworthy.
What do you think?
Not too crowded. Definitely took my clothes off as soon as I got home. Didn't want to sit on, like, I was like, okay,
Really?
But just more like, I don't want to go sit on, I just don't. And I rode the Amtrak train. I rode the train. So I was just sitting where a lot of people, I'm still a little paranoid like that. Like, I'm weird. It's not about the bus even. It's just, if I sit, if I go out to a restaurant and sit, I still will, like, I don't want to sit in my, I don't know. I'm weird about that. Like that's like my one weird thing with COVID. But the bus was fine.
Do you use this?
I do. I don't have my wallet on me.
I like LA's rail system.
But
It's clean
Cofield,
and
get
no one
this.
really uses it.
Yeah, I didn't know that this was the case. I didn't have to pay for the bus. I don't know if it's been free all of COVID, but they make you enter. They make you enter through the back of the bus instead of the front. I think to protect the drivers. But there was no money. There was no place for the money. There was no tap card tapper. So I guess it's just been free. I got to start taking the bus more. It's free. That's amazing.
Do we go down this tragic path? Someone was asking. Renee was asking if we have a Texas Roadhouse in Vegas. Yes, we do. And then, of course, the doomsayer Brady up on everything. Did you see that the founder offed himself last week? He did. Did we get confirmation? Was it because he was suffering COVID? He just couldn't take it anymore?
That's what I saw on the internet.
That was the initial story, yeah.
That's what I saw online.
Marcus coming over the top saying buses are filthy. I changed my clothes. It's with or without COVID, they're filthy. All right.
Yeah, I don't. You guys know I love public transit.
Yes.
I'm not going to argue with buses are filthy thing. I don't know how clean they are. I'll just say that.
I read your rundown. In fact, I have it here in front of me. That's too much. I was going to say that we had a bracket we could cover tonight, but we'll have to do that down the road. You know what? Now, what do you want to bring up? I have one more thing I could, but it's kind of serious. Actually, you know what? Let's stay light. What's the story with 7-Eleven? Has everyone seen this? That 7-Eleven is going to have a drive-through, but it says they're opening a taco drive-through. What is this?
Oh, interesting. Slurpees. People love this. I shouldn't say love. The 7-Eleven pizza gets eaten by people.
Okay. All right. I got it. I figured it out. I guess there's a place called Laredo Taco. I'm not sure what part of the country that's in, but there's Laredo Tacos inside of 7-Elevens. So apparently they're going to do the drive-through maybe combo 7-Eleven so you can get your Slurpees and other stuff. So that's not a bad idea.
No, I mean, especially with COVID, right? We're in an era of convenience, delivery, not getting out of cars. I think it's a great pivot by 7-Eleven. I don't know how much I'll use it. I'm not a huge Sevi's guy, but beer.
Be kind of cool.
I think a drive. Yeah, I mean, have you guys ever been to one of those like drive-in, like a drive-in dairy or a drive-in like convenience store? Have you guys? I guess it's a drive-through, but you can get out and then you can like grab the thing and then get back in your car and you just kind of keep it quick. Have you been to that?
I don't know if we have one. Does Anderson Dairy have some sort of drive-through? Anyone in Vegas? Yeah, I don't know.
But I just think back to Adam Hill's point in the chat.
Yeah.
A drive-through place where you can buy beer, cigarettes, or things of that nature, I think is really crucial. I know there's, beer, the driving, but what's the difference really between driving at the liquor store and
I always like to go in everywhere. Actually, one of the things everywhere. One of the things I hate the most about going to a rougher area is when they have they got the freaking speaker and you have to basically, ask for everything in a convenience store late night. They have to kind of run around the convenience store. You've never been anywhere like that?
Oh yeah, no, I've been. Yes,
like, you ain't getting in late night.
Oh
like,
yeah, I mean
that door.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. And then it's like I have to use the bathroom. They're like, no, okay. That's actually something COVID's really, I shouldn't say changed, but just going to the bathroom on the go. There's so many places are unwilling to let you use their bathroom now.
Is that right?
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like
this whole drive-through thing and going to the bathroom thing is like a foreign concept for me because before COVID, I didn't do it. So I just don't go. I rarely go to the bathroom in public. But are you a big gas station pisser? You don't drop a deuce at a gas station, do you?
I'm not like a big gas station pisser.
I don't know.
That's not like my thing. Now I'm trying to figure out why I've been driving far enough to pee, but I don't drop a deuce at a gas station. I try to only do that at home if I can.
Yeah. Wow.
But I am peeing on the go more than I'd like to be, really. I don't know. Maybe I should think about that. I don't know why I'm peeing so much on the road, but I have noticed like Starbucks bathrooms have been closed. I don't really like the gas station pisser, but like Starbucks bathrooms have been closed. A lot of fast food places bathrooms have been closed. Where was I just the other day? Oh yeah, I was at a sandwich shop and they wouldn't let me use their bathroom. I had to walk to the public park 2 blocks away. I had to pee so bad. I had to walk to the public park with my sandwich and pee.
Yeah, you know what? I've noticed that I'm not quick to change, and I'm probably not going to. Everything became a lot more convenient in terms of being able to shop. I talked about this last week that the girlfriend and I were at Target, and we went in, we got some stuff. We're sitting in our car, and we're like, "Oh, what's that area over there?" It's the pickup area, and we just sat and watched people get their stuff in the pickup area. Like the Target person walks out, you know, you use the automatic tailgate if you got one. They just put it right in the car, and we were both blown away. Meanwhile, it's been around at least a year, and before that, and probably before that too. And we're like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." I know it's not a great story, but it was just weird that I was like, I never thought of doing that. I've never thought of having the food delivered to the house. I know Adam Candy hasn't left his house in a year. I like to go in and shop.
I do too, Cofield. I'm with you.
Yep.
I actually was looking at my Amazon order history today, and I haven't even ordered anything off Amazon this year, and I only ordered 6 things last year.
I know.
I will drive, and I will ideally try to find like the specific store for that thing. Like I will go to, you know, the Radio Shack. I guess Radio Shack's out of business, but you know, I'll go to the place. I'll go to the barber supply store to get my trimmers, things like that.
Yeah, sadly, all we do is Amazon.
That's cool.
Well, it's not, because it's contributing to the closure of everything else. So, and at some point, Bezos is going to turn it back on us. He's going to take over the world.
Well, I'm doing the opposite. I'm burning gas in my car, driving to the local mom and pop store and trying to keep them in business.
Yeah, I can never do grocery store delivery. I can never do it. I just don't get it. I got to see stuff.
Oh my god, dude, it's terrible.
Oh,
I don't even.
Can't do it, man.
I can't do it. I pretty much everything, man. I go to Staples, buy like things that I know. Even with Staples, I'm like, I don't know what kind of paper I want. I want to go look at the paper for my printer.
Wait, Chasen, what are you saying here? You said every once in a while the SO and I will go into a store. We've noticed how much we saved by just what?
Wait,
Peeing? What were you saying?
You meant to see. I think some kind of a Freudian slip. By just peeing what we need.
Yep.
I like shopping in person for pretty much everything when I can. Really.
What's the grocery service? What is it called? Isn't there a main grocery service that delivers
Instacart.
Instacart. And then I swear I think Candy was off the air about 4 months ago, and he was complaining about something about how they'd picked this out wrong, and like the vegetable was this. I'm like, yeah, you can't rely on them. Come on now.
Oh yeah, man. I like to look at the meat.
All right, that's it.
I like
that. That was a good drop. I like to look at the meat.
Just take a gander.
I'm going to use a radio term. We're up against it. The break is coming up.
Got to pay the bills.
Well, I got to do a good team. We'll be back tomorrow on Cofield and Company at 2:00. Adam Candy will be in, and we will be stationed. Where are we tomorrow? By the way, someone was asking last week where our remotes are. I'm still working on that list. I'm still working on the website. We got to. Oh, you know where we are tomorrow? We're at the Battleborn Broadcast Center. So I know Brady's going to be grading our quality of our line. So there'll be a little echo. We're putting up the soundproofing still. At least Justin is. So tomorrow is Battleborn. Thursday is Silver Sevens. And then Friday we'll see. So thanks for joining us tonight. Spread the word. Download the podcast on the audio version. Alex,